about to go off on a very uncharacteristic rant about last Friday's summit. It was a complete, total, 100% unmitigated failure. The only reason this summit even occurred is because Vladimir Putin, as usual, minutes before the deadline for massive sanctions and tariffs, called the president and says, "Hey, comrade, let's get together and chat about ending the war." And President Trump fell for it, just like he has about a half a dozen times before. I personally saw or heard the president, since this meeting was set up, say that if he didn't get a ceasefire at this meeting, he would bring down the hammer on 100% tariffs against Russia and sanctions on all of their leadership, as well as sanctioning any country that continues to do business with Russia. There was no equivocation when I heard it any of those times. It was a bold, crystal clear statement that the sanctions and tariffs were coming if he didn't get at least a ceasefire at this meeting. He even repeated that to Brett Baer on Air Force One on the way to the summit. He also said that he would walk away if he couldn't get Putin to agree to that ceasefire. Now, anyone who has watched my podcast knows that I made a post a couple of months ago, the last time Putin failed to even discuss a ceasefire. Well, he didn't get a ceasefire this time either. And what happened? Nothing. As a matter of fact, he got nothing at all from this meeting as far as we know. And why are we in the dark? The president decided not to take any questions from the press. When's the last time that happened with Donald Trump? He let Putin stand up there and make a 10-minute speech pretty much justifying everything he's done and why he's going to continue. Donald Trump talked for about 5 minutes and then they left. Putin got everything he wanted and made no concessions, and we got nothing. To add insult to injury, the president is still saying he thinks Putin wants to end the war, just like he has every time Putin gives him the middle finger.
What?
Vladimir Putin could end the war right now, this very second while you're watching this, just by stopping shooting at people. I just can't understand why he insists on conferring some sort of respect on Putin or giving him the benefit of the doubt, even though he has betrayed every proposal so far, not only with this war, but any proposal he's ever accepted in his entire history. And, of course, as I thought, the very night of the summit, Vladimir Putin bombed a hospital in Ukraine. The day after the summit, he bombed an apartment building, killing 8 people, including a 1-year-old baby. On Tuesday, Putin said there will not accept European troops on Ukrainian soil to act as peacekeepers. How do you provide security without boots on the ground? Wednesday, their foreign minister said the security guarantees must include Russia and China. Now imagine that. He's insisting that Russia, the aggressor, the murderers, should be helping with the security of Ukraine after the war. What the
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
And to top it off, on Thursday, he bombed an American company in Ukraine. And something that's really, really bugging me since the summit is seeing all the Republican supporters now, instead of saying Trump's going to really put the hammer down on this guy the day before the summit, they're all saying now it's just a brilliant tactic of the president is using, and it's up to Zelensky now.
Say what?
And by the way, why the hell was there ever even a meeting without the victim, the other innocent party involved in the war? By the way, what makes this president or any other think they can negotiate away another country's sovereign territory? If China were to attack the U.S. and, let's say, captured California, Oregon, and Washington, even though some of us might be inclined to say let them keep them, would any American president, or any American for that matter, just say, okay, you can keep those 3 states as long as you stop shooting at us? Of course not. We would fight in perpetuity if we had to take back our land. We went to war with 2 other countries for over 20 years, completely justified, by the way, because they killed 3,000 Americans. But Vladimir Putin has killed almost 1 million Ukrainian soldiers and civilians. And we're telling them that 2.5 years of war is too much, that the innocent party needs to make all the concessions. That doesn't sound like American values to me. Sorry. There's even reporting out of Europe that the president is thinking about taking Putin's ceasefire proposal, which is basically to keep everything he's taken by force and add a little bit to that. That's not a negotiation. That's capitulation. I fear that the president is starting to be more interested in being given credit for stopping the war, regardless of the circumstances. And that's not right. Now, before my liberal friends start thinking I'm bailing on the Trump train, I'm not. I'm still a huge supporter of the other 99% of his policies, but I'm not one of those sycophants. I call it like I see it, and this one stinks. It's just that this one is driving me crazy because I don't understand it. It seems as though President Trump is the only person on earth that doesn't realize that Vladimir Putin is a murderous, child trafficking war criminal who needs to be brought down. Now, I'm going to make a prediction which a lot of people won't like. There will be no ceasefire and there will be no end to this war. Because Vladimir Putin wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece. And he won't stop until he gets it. It doesn't matter how many meetings the president has, even with Europe or Zelensky or anyone else. Putin will not end this war. I just feel like the president and our European allies are basically negotiating with themselves, with an unbelievable level of optimism without any evidence to support it. The president is on a fool's errand. I hope he comes to his senses soon. Well, that's about it for today. If you like what you heard, even if you don't, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd really love to hear what you have to say about this. So I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.